I had to produce something like a show reel in order to get to the bigwigs. Everyone looks at National Geographic and man, if I can achieve a National Geographic film, I'm there. I've made it. I'm there. So I had already, several sequences which looked pretty good, and I need some help from an editor. And someone suggested that I meet a lady named Janaki Lennon, who was an editor, and she was working on documentaries and soaps and all sorts of things. And so I met her and I asked her, I said, here's a pile of tapes of my junk, all my stuff that I put together. Can you help me make a show reel so that I'm planning to go to America and, sell my show reel to National Geographic. So I'm not quite sure how she felt about it, but she said, yeah, I'll put it together for you. And she did. So I did go to America and for other reasons as well, to see family and so on. And I went to National Geographic in Washington, D.C., and they were very polite, as they are to probably every 100,000 kids who comes in there with their show reel, and said, we'll get back to you. And I met a girl there who says, when they say they get back to you, don't hope for it, okay? And I said, yeah, well, that's okay. But she said, is your name Rom Whitaker? I said, yeah. She said, well, you sent a film pitch idea to a friend of mine who based at a film company in England about rats in India. And she has taken this pitch and she's taking it to National Geographic. Isn't it yours? I said, yeah, it's mine. She says, well, we're going to pull the rug out from under her and I'll co-pitch this with you because I've already produced films for National Geographic. Now, her name was Carol Foster, is Carol Foster. And she obviously had an in there because she'd made several films about from South America, some really fantastic wildlife films. She and her husband, Richard. And so we pitched it together and we called it Rat Wars. And it looks at everything. Rats being eaten by the Irlas, rats being killed by the Kodai tribes, rats being worshipped in Bikaner, and India and rats it's great. It's a great subject, and the National Geographic loved it, and so we made this film, and by that time Janaki started working with me on the natural history sequences, which took ages. We spent months at it. We did very incredibly intricate sets so that we could have a predation of a snake catching a rat in slow motion, all this kind of stuff. I learned so much working, well, Shaker and I both learned a lot working together on this. And with Richard Foster, who was the main cameraman, teaching us stuff as we went along.